to his credit, though, he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And he's, I like to think that he's pretty respected.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is the first system he's ever played with.
Yeah, that's
no
crazy.
martial arts background whatsoever.
Wow.
And to be as talented and as knowledgeable, because to us, it's more about this than it is the
Well, you
physical.
created a thinker already. Right away when I'm hearing the discussions and hearing you guys talk and seeing you guys play, I was like, yeah, you've done him a great service, or your teachers have done you a great service because they're making you a thinker. And so...
Yeah, he's constantly picking brains and just, hey, how about,
Yeah, and that's one thing I used to hate with my teacher. He'd put me in the forefront. Or we'd be driving out somewhere, he goes, I'm going to have you teach something. And I would just go pale,
I know
what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
And he goes,
Yeah, I threw him in front of a bunch of people. Here, show them this.
Yeah.
Like, what?
But that's really good because, and for me, I think, that helped in so many ways where I'd be dealing with senior leadership folks from, at work, and they would come, we need to do this. And they're like, why are you so calm? Have you ever had someone punch at you in the face, and you have to react, and you have to
break your bones,
put in front of 50 people, and your teacher tells you teach them something.
Yep.
So that builds this character, and you were like, okay, no, I just deal with it.
It toughens the mind.
Yeah, swallow the butterflies.
In one of the episodes, I did exactly that. It's called Naeem's Lesson.
Uh-huh.
You should watch that one because I said, okay, in this video, I'm going to ask you a question while we're on the camera. He goes, all right. You go, okay, Naeem, teach me something. And he had to do this on the
fly. Yeah.
What'd you teach him?
Something about ranging, but I worded it in such a way that we were talking about space earlier and how space and time goes hand in hand. How the spaces then become your free form where you can flow into things and out, regardless of what your opponent is doing. Because if you're constantly aware of the negative space between you and your opponent, then you know which avenues you can take.
Right. And how does that feel when you hear him explain stuff?
It's incredible.
Right?
Because then if you watch the video, I even say, I taught him this, but not this way.
Yeah.
Because again, our students learn to think for themselves and how they view it. And when they say stuff, it's based on what they understand.
Isn't that cool? I like when I see
it's the best, dude.
Yeah, when I see one
watch that episode.
I'll check it out.
It'll give us the numbers.
Yeah.
We're doing it for the numbers. I don't care if you watch all of it. Just turn it on and leave
Turn it on as long as it says that you viewed it.
I'll view it. Yeah, I'll go in there and put a thumbs up. Yeah, but when I see a student, I'll see him, and then I see him, and I'm getting ready to go in and interject, and then they're like, "But you could do this," and remember our custom, and I go.
He did it. I know.
Proper moment, when you see it because
dude, I get that way every time.
But it was funny. It started off with him and Danny, his older brother, who created what we do. He would say something in the middle of the class, and then his brother would come in. All right, well, let me add this one more thing, and then he'd add 5 or 10 different things.
Yeah.
And then eventually he'd just go, what he said. And he just couldn't say
after
anything
a while,
more.
You couldn't.
Yeah. So
one thing I try to do too is whenever I have someone else teaching, I don't really correct my teachers who are my gurus teach. I also once they get started on the work, I'll come back and they go, oh, when you're doing that, maybe you should mention thunder steps or mention ranging,
Right.
And he's like, oh, okay, sir. And then he'll go back and he's like, oh, I gather around like you can't. One thing I forgot to mention is you guys, but I like that, because now, and he sees it right. He's like, oh, you're right, and I get to see how I could have taught him better.
Right.
I was like, oh, that might be a gap on my part.
Right.
I didn't really emphasize it, and so you're right. You learn through your students.
You really do.
Yeah, it's amazing what they've taught me. So
makes you better.
Absolutely.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's one of those trial by fire kind of things.
Yeah.
Just because you're like, okay, I gave them all this stuff. I'm excited. Oh, man, they suck. Wow, what did I give them?
No, but if you're willing to learn, though, you have to appreciate
Of course.
that you can improve, and then you're always a student.
Oh, yeah.
Because you get some teachers, and you'll do something, or some instructors. I've cross-trained with a lot of people, and there's sometimes you'll do something, and you'll show a shortcut. I didn't tell you to do it that way, and they've got all these belts.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay,
Okay.
all right,
And they shoot you down.
Yeah,
like that.
well, and you could think though, and I almost have some empathy for them because if they've trained in something for so many years, and they've been in that box,
right,
and they don't know the efficiencies and shortcuts, I appreciate that.
and that's the problem.
It's
and
a
is
sad
the biggest,
situation.
That is the biggest problem with traditional teaching.
Yeah.
That they don't know how to break away from what even they feel at the time is probably not good.
Yeah.
That
You
they're
only
afraid
know
to.
what you know, and you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they don't want to dishonor the instructors or anything, so they keep it, even though they realize inside of them they said, "This is dumb."
Yeah,
You know?
or it scares them.
Yeah.
You show them something, and that happens a couple times. I'll get some black belts that come in and they want to train. I start teaching them, and then they're like, and they won't come back.
Yeah.
Because it is a shock to their system.
Yeah.
It's hard to go. I was like, whoa, I've known this to be right
Yeah.
all this time, and now you're telling
No,
me
you're
that
telling me
there's
it's not.
other possibilities,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
that this may not be as good as I thought it was. It totally destroys their
Yeah, well, like
entire
you know,
paradigm.
especially if you take a traditional art that is focused or premised on blocking. So we evade before we parry before we pass, and we pass before we block, and block is our least desirable option.
Okay, so
You know.
then that's your 3, your 2, and your 0 that you do, or
Yeah, it's
Okay.
tied. It's tied to that because
Alright.
you think if I've got a block, like you said at the tournament, I've got to move and then go from a stop to a re-engage.
Right.
right?
That is a long period.
yeah,
That's
from
fair.
If
static
I've
to
got
motion,
time
yeah.
to block, why not make that block my strike?
Yep.
You know, and so that alone, that simple thing I just said,
Uh-huh.
will destroy someone who's stuck in that box. It'll destroy their mind.
Yeah, it will.
You know, and so you're like, what? Because I got to go from a standstill and then to move. So a body in motion, you know, is it better to be in motion and then react, or is it better to go from a standstill and then react?
Right.
You know, it's better to be in motion, and that's why I like to say where you say get in a fighting stance. A lot of times, you know, we're doing this. Our fighting stance is I'm starting to walk, I'm starting to circle, or I'm doing this. I'm already moving.
Yeah, I don't look like I'm moving, but I'm constantly
Yeah.
shifting weight between the
yeah,
outside
you're
and
always
inside foot.
shifting. I'm always shifting because I need to explode. You know, I don't want to go from a standstill and then push. You know,
It's like,
I want the
whoa,
car
guys,
already
calm
moving. I want to
down.
be driving, and then when I
Then
push
hit
on
the
the gas,
gas.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, and
You
so
run
that's
a lot of stop signs, don't you? You
Yeah.
do a lot of rolling stops.
absolutely. But you know what I mean, right?
No, I get
exa-
it.
You know, and it's funny that you say it that way because, like, Naeem would used to always say, he goes, for a guy, because I'm an old man and I don't like to move if I don't have to, right?
Well, not just you're old, you're broken.
Yeah,
You're
I'm broken.
Broken
so,
old.
so he says, you know, for a guy who doesn't move, you move a lot,
He does.
right? And it's like, oh, you finally figured that out?
Yeah.
Because you're standing there, but something is always going on. Then anytime I come near you, you're already ready to hit me and do whatever you're going to do. And it's
Yeah.
like, but you don't move a lot.
Well, the reality
Yeah.
of it is that there's no such thing as still.
Yeah.
Your body is constantly
Always.
adjusting, the
Something's
weight,
moving.
Yeah,
shifting,
yeah.
everything. There's something always firing. So your body is never really still. So why try to make it that way?
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't want to start a competition being perfectly still, you
Right.
know? Because just moving like this, even that calms the nerves,
Yeah, it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
you know, and it relaxes the body, and you learn to be relaxed and drop the shoulders. Like when we do a drill, we start going back and forth. I said, "What are you guys doing?" You're there. And I go, "Talk to one another."
Yeah. I make him do
Sing.
ABCs.
Dude.
Yeah, sing.
I
Say
say, do
uno,
your-
dos, do la, you know, and move because what happens?
Oh, yeah, come over.
Yeah, oye, como va. You know,
I
but
said, I wanted
Yeah.
to make you guys feel at home.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
you know what I mean? Is that it is when you can.
No, you have to do
you,
that.
You relax
Yeah.
the shoulders.
You
You,
have
start
to do that.
relaxing. Yeah.
You know, and the reason why they tell you that cortisol is a chemical thing
Mm-hmm.
that your body creates, and it freezes you up.
Yeah.
It doesn't let you think, and you know.
It's designed for
fight
fight or flight. Yeah.
So, when you can calm down and relax and breathe, you know, back in the old days during the Civil War, when they would give these guns out to these guys, you know, because they had to do all these things,
Yeah.
here, right? They would tell them, think happy thoughts. They would literally say, think happy thoughts when you go out there. Like, what? He goes, yeah, because when you're thinking about something, you know,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, but that's what it was, how to calm them down, just think happy
Yeah,
thoughts.
there was some interesting work
in
by
battle, though.
Yeah, there's an interesting work by a guy named I think is Lieutenant Colonel Grossman. He talks about on killing, and he talks about what your body goes through in that dump,
Yeah.
adrenaline dump that goes into your body, and he talks about even back to the Civil War, how many people actually fired shots.
Yeah.
You know, and the
Aim to
stress,
hit.
the stress effect. There are people who had everything loaded and or even had all this time and they didn't load their weapons because
Their brain just,
they froze.
Yeah, they couldn't function.
And so he goes into talking about breathing exercises and having people understand the stress effect, so you can actually shorten your window. You know, and so it's
The
really fast.
recovery is
Yeah,
faster.
really fascinating work. You know, of that he does, and it's pretty neat.
You know, and it's funny that a lot of because the fact that you're saying that, and I know for a fact that not a lot of martial artists think that way or bother to study that aspect.
Dude, he's an engineer. I'm sure he has a model of the brain somewhere. And it's like,
But
Kali
you know what I mean,
goes
though?
right
like,
here.
Like in our tradition,
Yeah.
back in the old days when we were learning stuff, how was stuff given to us? Oh, just
Yeah.
follow the guy in front of you.
Yeah.
Or do this, just
Yeah.
mimic, right?
Right.
It was more about mimicking than it was about the actual thinking about what's happening how do you get these moves and why are they working and what muscles are you using. Back then it was like, you know, and you did this forever and ever all day, you know, for the hour and a half that you were in class. You're doing the same thing for all that time.
Great cardio though.
But nowadays, you know, especially with us, we don't. I would, if I ever had you do that, I want you to slap me or just kill me.
Yeah,
you know, because
our fittest student is only fit because she's a personal trainer.
You know, because what we say, you know, we say you're in class to learn something.
Right.
When you're out of class, go home and practice it.
That's where you train.
That's where you train.
Yeah.
Here you're learning stuff. Go train at home. If you come back and I don't notice that you train, because we can always tell, right?
Yeah.
That's easy to tell. Yeah, you still look as crappy as. Oh, you actually look worse now.
Yeah.
You know. So why didn't you train? And they're like, well, how did you know? Look what you're showing me.
Yeah. There's this guy. I don't know if you heard of Jocko Willnick. He's a former special operative, but he has a podcast and he talks about.
He's really good with names, isn't he?
Dude,
remember names.
Well, that's because of the kind of work he's in. He has to remember everything.
Yeah.
No, well, he does.
I'm sorry, he was doing.
He talks about Tito Ortiz, and he would go in a fight, and he'd always throw up before a fight.
Right.
But what he was saying is his coaches and everything tell him, all right, you got to throw up? You feel sick? Go throw up. What you're feeling, and they would tell him, because sometimes if you don't teach your student what they're going to go through
to recognize
physically to recognize it, they're panicking. They're like, what's happening in my body?
I remember.
Why do I feel like I got to go take a dump? Or why do I, you know?
That happened to me in my first tournament.
Yeah.
It was the very thing. You know, I got all queasy. I had to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, and I had to rush back, and my cup fell out.
Same here. Same here, you know.
I didn't wear a cup, though, but same thing.
Yeah, same here. And so that's another part of the martial arts training. If you're not teaching your students what that is or how to deal with it, you're doing them a great disservice when they get in the street.
Back in those days, we never got that. I mean, I was at a Ralph Castro tournament in Alameda.
Okay.
And, you know, and I had like a 15-minute for it, and it was all going like, and I'm rushing, you know, and I barely made it out to get into the fight. I'm like, fuck, and I'm like sweating.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing that could happen, you know, I'm there in my stance ready to go, guys in front of me, and I think he was from Crazy Dragons at the time. And Crazy Dragons, you know, they're Kaiju Kempo guys. And they're a lot tamer now, but back then they were a bunch of assholes. They were like the Cobra Kai of the day.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
you know. He goes, I remember.
No, I heard.
These guys, right?
Yeah.
So I'm up there, and I'm
the whole Greg O'Gara crew.
Yeah, so I'm there, and I'm ready to throw, and I hear now, boom! I'm like, oh, mother, wind just knocked out of me. I'm like, fuck, and I'm like, right. So I get up again. I'm like, oh god. So I go again, and sure enough, now. Bam! I go up. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what it was.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, I just got from the bath. You know, like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the worst thing and the worst feeling in the world
Right.
is when you're getting up there for the first time and you've never done it before. Even though you're doing stuff in class, and like I said, in class, everything is given to you.
Yeah.
So you can do it. You know, like, I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. Oh, I'm going to get my first fight. I'm ready. I'm a badass. I'm going to win. And you get the shit knocked out of you in 2 punches and you're done.
Yeah. So every time we do a belt test, you know, we spar. And I tell my students, you know, I'll take my student, whoever's testing, I'll say, okay, look at what I'm doing right now. Your whole point is to learn. I'm not really looking for technique right now. I want you to deal with the adrenaline rush. You're gonna, how do you feel right now? I'm so nervous. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to feel.
You're supposed to feel that.
Yeah.
And so I have them go through that feeling, but I talk them through it. You know, the good news is there's tons of material out there called stress effect and all kinds of. You know, we've been in combat since the dawn of time.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
And a lot of people have written about this.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's all sorts of great material out there.
Yeah, this is nothing new.
Yeah, and I think a lot of martial arts schools don't even put that into play. And you need to let your students
And that's what I was telling you. They don't bring that aspect of the fight world to their fighters.
Right. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, ever since I've learned then, you know, if I had knew that back then when I was doing that, I would have been way better off.
Yeah.
But I see that, and we tell these guys all the time, you know, you got to relax, you got to calm down, you got to breathe, you got to, you know, when you're in there in when his first tournament, it was like, he was so confident because we were constantly just barraging him in the gym and going full bore stuff. I mean, we never babied anybody. Even our girl student, Risa.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys wouldn't want to match up. He goes, why don't you want to match up with her? He goes, she hits hard.
Yeah, so it was always me who'd match up with her in class. Yeah, so.
Well, no, and my teacher, Jim Art, used to call it, you need to train how to be under duress.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't train to be under duress,
You're
no
never
matter
gonna be
what
there.
I teach you, you're gonna
It's not gonna
when
come
you
out.
try to do it when it matters, you're gonna fail. You're gonna die.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, you're gonna get hurt. You know, and so I take that to heart because I've been
Yeah,
there.
I
I
mean-
was in the bathroom with the stomach aches. You know,
Yeah.
that first tournament,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh God, what's
And it's
this?
the worst feeling because
Yeah.
it's never a good dump. It's really bad.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
yeah, that's
Stressful.
right.
You're like, oh, I think I got more. I think
Yeah. It was
Should I get
it's
up?
never a good dump.
No, it's
I'm
never a
like,
good time.
man.
Yeah, we don't want to go into the details, but
No,
I know where you're
no,
going.
no,
with this.
no.
You-
For those of you who know, just
Yeah.
reminisce. But
We've been
Yeah.
been there, done
Yeah,
that.
been there, done that. Yeah, just
All
say
right,
soup is
I
being
think
served.
we've definitely hit the hour. Or if
Oh
not
yeah,
more.
we're actually past the hour.
Yeah, much more than the
So,
hour.
hey, listen, I know you have a cool way of doing stuff, and we
Okay.
actually want you to be able to show it to us.
Yeah,
Okay.
we want to
if you don't
destroy
mind.
some black belt minds right now, and we're going to get it on camera.
Yeah, get them really pissed off at you. Give them a different look.
Remember, his name is Mike Cardin. If you go back a few segments, you'll get his website, his 3 Facebook accounts. You in Instagram? No?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
All right, now you
Mike
know.
Cardin. Oh.
Black Wolf.
Oh, at Black Wolf.
Yeah, Black Wolf. The Gross Discriminatory.
All right, folks, we'll be right back. We're gonna set the camera up. We'll see you in a bit.
Guys, see you in a bit.
All right, everybody, we're back here with Mike Cardenas or Michael. Is it Michael or Mike?
Either one.
Either one, huh? Because I want to make sure I'm so messed up with names for some reason.
Say Mike.
Anyways, Mike is here again. He's gonna show us some of
I'm
the
going to
stuff
call
that
him Miguel.
Miguel.
Miguelito.
He's going to show us what they do at VEA martial arts. So
Wolves.
take it away.
Black Wolf.
And I'm going to stand out of the way so I don't get hit with a stick because I know he's accidentally trying to hit me with a stick.
Okay. So I'm just going to go over a couple of basic concepts. Is Naeem's going to try to strike me right on top of my head. My whole job when I'm doing these stick techniques is I want to turn his center mass. Okay, turn or tilt the center mass. And the reason I want to put him in that position is because when I put him in that position, it makes it more difficult for him to strike me with a secondary strike if I throw him in my dishwasher. So I want to take Naeem and constantly throw him in my dishwasher.
The agitator.
Okay? So when I'm here, we have 3 attitudes or positions. We call them los tres caballeros. Caballero 1 is here, position 1. Okay, this is my very aggressive tactic. I'm driving through. Okay, Caballero 2 is here. Okay, this is where I'm position 2, and I'm catching everything from that sector. Caballero 3 is here. I'm leery. I don't know what you're doing, and I'm gonna catch largo, go largo. Okay, so we have 12 strikes, but what we did is blended it down to the tres caballeros. Defensively, these 3 positions become our 3 shields, or we call it the golden cross in the cuevas. Okay, so when he comes in here and strikes me at the 1, okay, I'm just moving in. So if I were to go super slow and break that down,
Thank you.
1, I've taken him out. Okay,
And-
that's called a 0 beat. The 0 beat is because I moved out of the way and I struck my target. Okay, now when I do this check, I'm going here because I want him to knock him off balance where he can't come to me, and I'm doing my strike. For the purpose of the drill, if I go slow, and I'm just coming here. Okay, that's
I don't know if you noticed, folks.
Can I see you do that where you actually hit him and knock him out?
yeah.
Really?
I just want to see what... Dude, I'm a show-me kind of guy like you are.
Oh, show it on you. Your head's bigger.
So that's 1. Now we depend on attackers, multiple attackers. If I came here, boom, and I struck, it puts him here, okay? But I'm constantly moving that body. I'm constantly being aggressive with him. I don't want to stay here and do this stuff. Okay? I don't want to do this. I want to go through. So when he strikes, okay, if I catch him this, I say, I'm striking. Okay? So, back to the top of the head. Boom. Strike. Puño. Claps in here. See? I'm using every aspect of my weapon. We break down, this is a 2, like you said.
Yeah.
Okay? Puño, punch, medio, here. We all know the way, because we've talked, I know we understand.
Yeah.
My maximum strength, when I throw this, that fulcrum or that angle, the energy's focused here.
Science, folks.
Science. Now, he goes overhead, boom, from here. Punch. Okay? Now, I need to throw him in the washing machine. So I punch. Our salute is here. I'm guarding my low gate, high gate. I need to do something bad to him. Okay, once again, I can go in here. Okay, pressure point. Just that would throw him off to go into my boxing. Okay, a lot of times with my stick, boom, that's a number 3 punch. Okay, so what happens if he strikes? Boom. I'm moving here, see? Empty hands. It shouldn't change because I pick up a damn stick.
Right.
If it's doing that, I'm doing a disservice to my students.
Yeah, because then you're teaching 3 different things.
So Naeem, when he's here, right, and if I come with a 1,
Right.
1 with my arm, 1 with the stick, 1 with the knife, doesn't matter. Evade before we parry. Parry before we pass. Okay? We pass before we block. This is the least desirable option because now look, I gotta re-engage.
Right.
When he strikes, boom,
You're still moving.
my parry becomes my strike. Okay? Principles. I pick up the tool. This tool here. When he strikes, if I watch, I throw, boom, boom. I use every aspect of the stick.
Naeem, you're up the screen now. I like it.
But I would chase down my prey.
Was not expecting
Okay?
that.
I would chase down my prey.
Just so that the audience know, hold on one second. There is a lip over there, which is why Naeem is jumping over, so
Oh yeah. No,
he's not just being clumsy.
I'm no fool. Well, actually, I might be a fool for being here in this particular instant.
No, you're good. You're good. So, one more time. He comes here, I go boom, okay? I can shoot this, my strike, first defense, second defense. You see how I'm breaking that nose? And then look at oh, okay? I would spin it a little differently, but because of space, I gotta do something different. But
But you folks have to appreciate the fact that he's adapting to the environment that he's in, still getting his point across.
right. And when I'm coming in here, when I did this, I'm turning the center axis, but I'm bringing him back. And then I'm dumping him. So even here, he's still not where he wants to. So I'm going to position this with my knee. See?
Ooh.
I use what? This is my 8th defense. I use my 8th defense to put in position, which is my knee. 9 and 10, shin, foot. So from here, boom, this is where I drop. And this is where I come in and get my chokes. Okay? Ideally, I'm not going to hold them chokes. I'm just going to drop them and swing and crack that melon open. Okay?
Nice.
If I go this way, and I push, I go here, take them down that way. Finish with my boxing because I'm close. Okay? So that's some elements of our stick that's a little different.
Kind of felt the knee coming there too.
Yeah, the knees coming there because I'm always doing this, and I'm always doing this. I'm always doing the sukadan, taking it from there. Pow! See that?
Nice.
What I've done, this is not a very fancy or combative thing,
Yeah.
but what it does, it puts your mind on it. Chomp. For me to chomp. Because say when you drop that, hold your stick out. That way you put your stick in your head. Okay, so come at me.
Yeah.
I go here, and I did this. Boom. That's what I'll come down on his head with. And then I come back up with my 11. But you see, these different caballeros to do that.
Now, I was always told caballero means, what, cowboyish or gentleman?
3 gentlemen, we call it.
The 3 gentlemen? Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
it could be
this is
cowboys.
very
GMR referred to them
deadly
as,
gentlemen.
as the 3 gentlemen.
That's cool.
And that entry is the number 1. Now, the Lyric Caballero would be here. He comes at me with a 1. See? I'm coming here. Because I don't know really what he's going to do. I don't want to be aggressive. I got to figure him out first. But if I hit him, he comes with a 2.
I want to.
Boom. I can come to Caballero 2. Now I'm back in Caballero 1, where I can be aggressive.
There you go. I want to point out, folks, in his 3rd caballero, it's my hand he struck. He did that automatically. He struck my hand. That's what happened. So, likelihood of me holding on to the stick afterwards? Slim.
So that's the elements of the tool. We utilize every part of the tool to do that. Okay, same principles. The reason I use this because those damn aluminum trainers hurt like hell. Okay,
I've been poked in the face with one.
but same. If he's gonna give me some strike, boom. Same thing. I'm coming in here. Okay, GM Green did something like this.
Yes.
We have very similar principles here. I'm sticking him here. Okay, and then from here, just same thing. Drag and turn, cut out, boom, push. But I always want to mess with him. I don't want him to be
To
comfortable.
recover at any point.
Yeah. So if I go here, I came in here. Okay, I may just come in here and just push. See, I'm pushing the head into it.
Yeah, you did.
Same thing for some self-defense stuff. If he puts this knife up against my throat, do whatever you want. Okay, this is like bad, right? This is bad juju. I need to get away from here. Here's a threat. My only recourse here is to step back. Boom! Start doing limb destruction. He's in sector 2. I put him in sector 2.
Right.
See? So from here, this is where I go. Ooh, ooh. Good. Okay,
yeah.
this is where I can start using first, second, third.
So, move me into sector 2, back to sector 1?
Actually, yeah, sector 1 means the angle comes in this way.
Oh.
Sector 2 means I put it here.
Okay.
That's a good question.
That's the breakdown, folks. Oh, okay. So we break down sectors like this. So
Sector
sector
1
1, sector 2, there's a 3,
Yep.
and 4. Ah! Now we know, folks.
5 right down the middle.
Okay, so
Good. See? So if I take my principles, what I just showed you, okay, and he came here, boom. From this part here, look at, I did this. There's a window of opportunity where he could break this, right?
Right.
You slap that and go to my throat.
oh.
If I go here,
Right, and I'm trying to grab this.
yeah,
I see.
okay. So when you do that, there's a window of opportunity.
Pop.
Boom. From here, yep, see?
Ah.
So that's what we teach too, is these windows of opportunity. But now, who's saying that I can't go, when I go to do this wrist lock, he goes to hit it,
Yeah.
right? Boom, see, I turn it back at him. Those are called contras. I'm now countering his counter to my counter. Okay? And so sometimes that might be the engaño, where I bait him. I want to do something. For example, let's go into here. Say if you punch, boom, now you punch, parry this one. You're going to parry this one.
Oh, okay.
So you punch, he parries my strike, boom.
Ah.
All I do is rebound. Or say if he goes here, he parries that. I want him to parry it. Okay? Because I want to come back with something. So they're on purpose. And so, but they're all broken in. Are you good?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. These concepts and principles.
Wow, that was some really good stuff. Hey, thank you, Mike, for showing us that.
Dude,
This
I
has
got
been
my
an
blood
awesome day.
flowing. No,
I
I'm
like
good. I
seeing
love
you go
it.
down to the ground. If it's not me, I don't care who does it. Anybody can take it go. Listen, we've been at this for almost 2 hours now.
Jesus.
So this is gonna be a long segment on video. So that's crazy.
I had fun.
I had fun. Thank you
Yeah,
guys.
I had fun watching you hurt him. So that's always a special thing to me. I mean, I love it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, yes. Definitely hit that subscription button, that notification button. Every week we're going to have another video. Today, Mike Cardenas.
Really super
Threw
chill
my ass
guy.
around.
I actually enjoyed.
No, I know.
talking
He's
to you.
just
Thank you,
super
guys.
smart. I love
And that's
this
why
guy.
the
So
time got away
humble.
from us because you were just the stuff that we were talking about was just incredible.
Well, he asked you about what you thought, and
Yeah.
you know, you like to
Well,
talk.
I'm here to learn.
Now, also, don't forget, in the next couple of weeks, we are going to have our
The
25th
25th
episode, and that's going to be something.
Bit of a round
Yeah.
robin kind of
Yeah.
what would you do situation.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So don't forget to join us, and when you see us, don't forget to like and subscribe. I have to keep stressing that because we're trying to get our numbers up. So help us out.
right.
Mike, do you have anything?
Any
coming up?
thoughts?
No, thank you guys for what you're doing for,
No,
for
any
our
events?
martial arts community. No events coming up right now, but we're gonna probably have a barbecue soon. We need,
All right.
we need to eat together.
We're going to have a mixer.
Let me ask you this: how are you doing with COVID? Is your school? What are you guys doing?
We sanitize. We're doing everything right. We're coming in. We're spraying our shoes down, and we're training. So we train every Sunday from 9 to 10:30. 9 to 9:30 is our physical fitness, but it's fitness that applies to our martial arts. So we're doing boxing, our different exercise for explosive power for our legs,
Nice.
and then we go into our FMA.
And just so you know, we're not charging him for giving that information because we're nice guys.
No.
Really? What was that $100 for?
That's for dinner.
Okay.
All right, and in 3,
All right, thank
2,
you guys.
1.
Have a good one.
God.